Hello traders, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go through my FTMO metrics in my FX book for both the challenge and the verification from my newest $200,000 FTMO challenge and verification stages. If you are a regular viewer on the channel, you will have noticed that recently I have moved more towards the funding side of trading just to maximize the profits you can make by pretty much getting this free income from just trading the funding challenges and then, receiving the payouts monthly. I personally think you're a lot better off by taking the funding challenges rather than putting £500 into your personal account and trying to trade that up. You can get into that stage of just trying to flip the account, trying to make as much money as possible, where you could just refine your skills, refine your risk management, take an FTMO, take any other funding challenge out there. There's probably tens and tens of different companies now out there which you can actually do funding with, which offer you 80-90% profit split after you do actually prove yourself with the challenges. And I did actually do a video based on this, how I'm planning to receive around 2 million in funding, or even 1 million in funding, doesn't really matter, because it's just still 5% a month is 50k a month or 100k a month, depending on obviously the amount you actually go for. So I do actually have a video series coming out on the channel of a different firm, which you guys will actually see. It is called the Forex Funder. I tried out their one, and people have been asking for me to actually try out different funding companies. So that is actually what I'm going to do on the channel. Try out different ones, see which one's the best, and then give you guys a nice little, maybe a tier list of my personal preferences with the trading prop firms which I've actually personally used. Well, I can't rate them if I haven't used them. So I'm going to go through pass, get a payout on each of the different firms, and pretty much see which is the best one and which you guys should personally put your time and money into. So moving on to the metrics here for the challenge, which is the first stage on the FTMO. As you see, we can refresh it here. There you go. You see, I've noticed that with my challenges, I think I mentioned this in a previous video, we always go into slight drawdown on the first trade, which is usually around a 1% loss, or even up to 2% depending on the trades I've actually taken. So the same thing did actually happen here. We did actually have a $2,300 loss, which is just over 2%, which is just over 1% even. So there's nothing really worrying about that. It's only 1%. You're going to lose trades, but it is annoying that it does happen at the start of every challenge. And myself personally, I found that a lot of people actually end up failing the challenge once they actually go into that drawdown initially. Once they're under that 200k, once they're under that 100k balance, that is when they actually start to revenge trade, trying to get it up into profit, maybe try and get their free retry. And that is when they do end up actually blowing the account, based on the daily loss limit, based on the overall loss limit, because they're trying to force the trades. Also, if my voice does sound a bit different, I am a little bit ill at the moment, so it is very, very tricky to actually speak. But we've got to do the videos, we've got to get the content out there, and we've got to make some money trading. So it is what it is. But as you see, after that, we went straight up to around $7,500 in profit, which is, just under 4%. And I'm going to go through the trades and all the metrics down below in a second. Just going to show you the chart here. You can see that at the high here, we're around $13,000, which is around 6% in profit. So we only needed around 4% after that. We did actually have losses, back down to 8.6k. Nothing to worry about. And then along here, I think this might have been actually the break-even gold trades, which we'll go through. And then we had that one big winner, which took us into the profit target, which we actually made the profit target. And then we had to trade the 0.01 days after that. As you guys can see, the max daily loss limit was 10k. However, we didn't actually lose 6k in a day. I think it does count equity as well. So your floating drawdown, even if your trade goes in profit, you can still hit the daily loss limit, especially if you're using these higher lot sizes as well. If we go down here, you can see the different days. So the days we were actually trading, so these 3 days here, we actually didn't end up with any losing days, which is very, very good going. There's no point looking at the win rate over here because you've got all these 0.01s, which I just closed straight away just to get those 10 trading days. So the win rate doesn't really matter on that one. But you can see the average profit and average loss. That is, again, not properly calculated because of these days here. So that's why I actually input the data from the challenge and the verification into Edgewonk, so you can kind of see the true stats and don't include the 0.01s. It is just going to affect the data and it isn't going to be accurate from your actual trading. So that's why the metrics here aren't as accurate when you're doing it on a challenge or a verification, if you have actually done those trading days. A good thing which I actually did was, after I made that first day of profit, and I'd say even if you take a trade and it loses, the next day, doesn't matter if you got a trade or not, take those 0.01s, because you're going to regret it later on otherwise if you don't take those 0.01 days, because you've already traded, challenge is already active, you might as well do the 0.01s to actually build up the trading days so then you can pass a bit quicker. Did that on the second day. Third day, made just over 1%, one trade, we'll go for that in a minute. And then the 26th of May, which was 4 days, the fourth trading day, or technically 3 days of actually trading, we did actually make the final bit of profit to actually pass the challenge. You can see down here, the first loss was AU. Second trade, AU again, made around $10,000, which is around 5%. GU, just over 1%. And then we have these break-even trades here, which are the 0.01s. And then we had another just 1.5% trade pretty much there. A loss, break even. So again, 2 break-even trades. After 2 losses, your mind can kind of trick yourself into closing too early. But it fit my plan. I think there was news coming out, so I always make my trades break even before any news events, especially on the funding accounts, because you got to be quite careful. And then we had these 2 GU buys here, which did actually pass the challenge. But you see the duration, 10 minutes, 23 minutes. Because of the way I was actually trading it, I was using tighter stop losses, well, tight stop loss for myself, which was around like 7 to 10 pips, I'm pretty sure, on GU, which is actually quite good. And then we did actually close these as soon as the profit target was actually hit, because again, there's no point holding to your extended target if you've already passed the challenge. Literally no point in doing that. And then we had the 0.01s, lovely times. You see both long and short were profitable. GU made the most profit, and all these other Bitcoin, I use that to trade on the weekend for the 0.01s over the weekend, so you don't have to wait for weekdays. And you can see that this is a bit different because I think it is on the Czech Republic time zone, so it's kind of a bit off from the UK one, so you would have to change that if you are looking into that. If we go on to my FX book now, it won't actually verify for some reason, I'm not really sure why, but if I can get it verified, I'll make it public for you guys. But you can see the exact same trades. This is actually based on each individual day, so it will look slightly different to this one here, because this is done on each trade is one level. Here it is actually based on each individual day, so you can see 2% drawdown, and then boom, we passed it. If you look here, the exact same trades, there we go. Moving on to the verification, this one was a lot easier for myself. You've only got to make 5%. However, once I actually got the details, I didn't actually trade it for like a week or so, because I was actually going to London. Last week I actually went to London, and this is kind of when I was looking for the setups. It's hard, you can't really carry your laptop, you can't really carry your setup around. So I did just have to, London session in the mornings, after the breakfast in bed, had to then pretty much try and trade from then on, 8 a.m, 9 a.m, 10 a.m, that sort of thing. So that is kind of what I was looking to enter the trades on. As you see, it says we're not passing yet because we got to continue those 4 0.01 trading days to ensure we actually pass the challenge. But you can see we passed all the other stages with ease. And the first day we actually took the first trade on the first day did actually pass us the challenge, or the verification even. You can see that we had 2 positions on this setup, 3% and 2%, which pretty much made us that 5% profit, which was again absolutely beautiful. In 2 hours and 19 minutes of trading, we did actually pass the verification. So the first stage of challenge took us around 4 days. This one took us 2 hours. Very good going. I've still yet to beat my time on passing the 100k one, which was in the first hour, but I'm not trying to rush it. What I do is I wait for the perfect setup before even taking any trades. That is the mistake I actually see a lot of people make. They buy the challenge and think they have to trade straight away. Once you've bought it, it only starts the countdown for the 30 days when you actually take that first trade. So there's no point taking trades just for the sake of it. So what I personally did, I had this account for like a week or so, I think something like that, a couple of days before I actually took this trade, which was just a perfect setup. I waited for that perfect setup, and then I took the trade, took the setup, as you see on the MyFX book as well. First day of actually trading it, boom, 3.1, 1.9, beautiful. and you know, we had 0% drawdown as well. So it is absolutely lovely. 100% win rate. This one win rate is a bit skewed because obviously the 0.01s, as I mentioned. What we're going to do is continue the rest of the 4 training days, and then hopefully once we actually get the funded account, I might change the profit split to, you know, 14 or 15 days, whatever the option was, to actually get my payout within 2 weeks instead of waiting for the full month, depending on, you know, my trading at the time. You get the payout quicker, you get the refund quicker. It is pretty much a no-brainer in my opinion. And what we're going to do is we're going to aim for 5 to 10% once again, which is around $10,000 to $20,000. And after all the conversions, I think that's around £7,000 to £14,000 after conversions, depending on obviously the 5 to 10%. So if you guys did enjoy the little breakdown of the metrics here, if you want a video me going through the trades I actually took, then leave that in the comments as well, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.